This is turmeric and poppy seed soap. I love making turmeric soap. This one's a little different though, because I had a bunch of ingredients and I wanted to use them up, so I kind of made it backwards. I actually didn't even do my lye and water first because I didn't have a recipe. So I started pouring out oils, and I had grapeseed oil. I wanted to use it up, so I went ahead and dumped that in. Actually, before I dumped it in, I'm gonna do the sub plug because I figured out that I have stats, and check this out. Almost no one subscribed who watches my videos. So at this rate, I'm gonna hit 1,000 subs by 2026. Not bad. Anyway, dump that all in, and it worked out to be about, what did it work out to? 320 grams, right? So after I dumped it in, I checked the scale, 320 grams, went over to the laptop, and I started punching in the info in the soap calc. So next oil I had was this hemp seed oil. I figured I would dump this all in too. You know, like I said, use up what I had. But once I started pouring it in, I realized it was really green. Makes sense, hemp seed, weed soap, weed oil. It's gonna be green. And I'm thinking, with turmeric, this is gonna mess the color up. So all I did was poured enough in to round it up to 400 grams. That way my dumb brain could do the math really easy. So again, hemp oil, it worked out to be about 79 grams. Now I had this mystery oil. I just assumed it was olive oil. And this is where I'm gonna say, the oils that you're using aren't that important. Come at me, experienced soapers, tell me I'm wrong, but I don't even know what kind of oil this is, and I just dumped it in, and I used it. And you know what? It worked, so there you go. After dumping that in, it went up to, 758 grams, so I had to do a little math, 400, 758 minus 400, whatever that is. Punched it on the laptop. So I got 358 grams of olive oil, or supposed olive oil. And then I always use lard. This is actually bacon grease from my leftover bacon. Cook a lot of bacon, dump the grease into a jar, and then there you go, that's lard. Make soap out of it. And what's the big deal? You think I'm gonna waste it and throw it in the garbage? It's just animal fat. That's what soap's made out of anyway. So all I'm doing here is topping it up to 1,000 grams because that's what my mold takes. Plop, plop, plop. And, you know, I'm not crazy too. Look, 1,003 grams, whatever. A little editing magic, microwave it, get all the oils liquidy, and we're ready to soap. So dump your lye water in. It's the same old, right? It's actually not that hard once you get used to it. And who doesn't like stick blending a jug of fats and oils? So I hit that for a bit, got it to some kind of trace. And this is my base of oils. So what I wanted to try with the soap was to make a gradient of colors. I think it's called ombre. I don't know. I'm not Mexican. So I split it in half, and what I'm doing is I'm using turmeric to color. I'm making turmeric soap. So you can see I'm dumping it into one of the containers. So one of them is going to be like natural, and then one is turmeric. And then what I'll do is I'll pour out the natural one, or the uncolored, a layer, and then I'll add a little bit of turmeric to make it a bit darker, pour it out, add a bit more to make it a bit darker, and keep doing that to get that gradient effect. Yeah, turmeric didn't really mix in well by spoon, so hit it with the stick blender. That's what I always end up doing anyway. And give it a little shaker off a bit. Okay, so now I got my two soaps ready to go. Like I said, I pour in my natural as my bottom layer, and then I want to darken that up, so I'm going to add a bit of turmeric. And here's where I made a mistake. I dumped in way too much right off the bat, so it darkened it way too much. I should have just went with a tiny bit. But, you know, live and learn, or live and don't learn and just be an idiot for the rest of your life. Yeah, so add on your next layer, right? Dump a little more in, give her a mix. Should get a bit darker. I think this would probably work better with micas too. Turmeric's not the best at coloring soap, but I wanted to do natural, like this is unscented too, right? And then add a bit more in, pour a bit more, mix a bit more, add a bit more, pour a bit more, mix a bit more, another layer. Started to thicken up nicely right about here. So I realized it wasn't getting any darker. I cheated, I added a little bit more turmeric on the left one, but it was already maybe maximum saturation. It didn't really make it any darker. But, you know, I tried, so. Yeah, another layer, mix. And I think we're getting to the last layer, and here's where I got real crazy. I got real crazy and improvised. I added some poppy seeds in. I'm thinking, you know, let's put the soap to the next level. Let's make it over the top and get some exfoliant in there. So just dingle a little, dingle a little in there, mix it up, and this is my top layer. So it'll be a gradient of light to dark turmeric with a poppy seed top. And I will say the poppy seeds were easy to work with. And I'll probably be doing it again. It turned out pretty good. Yeah, I should have sped this clip up. So I'm doing a little back and forth. That way, since I'm not going to be swirling, I want it to get kind of a nice pattern texture on top. Alright, so then I do my little jiggle down. And yeah, this whole batch was really easy to work with, especially for try to get the lid on there, for a made-up recipe with just random oils. So this one's set up in about 24 hours, as they usually do. It was a little bit softer. Honestly, I probably should have let it sit a bit longer because it was mostly liquid oils, but I don't care about that kind of stuff. I took it out, it bricked up, put it on the chopping block, cut real nice, kind of discolored a bit on top, but through it was great. You know what? Look at this soap. It turned out awesome. I'm gonna make it again. Make some turmeric soap. I love turmeric soap.